Mukta, you picked a great day. Did you come because of the eclipse? I know in Vedic culture, most people are very superstitious about eclipses. For good reason, actually. There's a lot of energetic things happening during eclipses, and if you don't have a really positive spiritual process in your life, you're almost always going to get affected negatively. So, but because you guys all have a positive spiritual process in your life, we can transform this energy with some alchemy. You like alchemy? Okay. There's like a metallurgy where they can turn mercury, if they combine it with other certain elements, it can turn into gold, which is very nice. So when there's really dark, inauspicious energies combined with the spiritual forces, and by properly handling these energies, we can actually turn them into very powerful, auspicious moments in our life. So that's what we're attempting to do. And that's just the symptom of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is inauspicious for everyone else, Kali Yuga, is so auspicious for the devotees. And we actually get a golden age, and he's the golden avatar. So, if you want auspiciousness in your life, we should hear about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, our Sachi Sutta right there. He is our Eclipse Incarnation. He came on a full moon. Full moons happen on, lunar eclipses are full moons. Today is the new moon. We have a solar eclipse. But the principle is the same. The shadow planet, or Rahu, or as the material scientists would say, the shadow of the earth. Whatever energies are combining to cause the darkness overtaking the luminary temporarily that's not so important. But the actual energies that are afoot, that is important. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came during a lunar eclipse. It's recommended to, do you know what the top activity to do during any eclipses? Harinam. Yes. Yes, and not just any Harinam. There's a very specific Harinam that we should do. It's kirtan. Loudly chanting. We didn't do that this morning because the time we just missed it. But actually we did in the beginning process. But chanting loudly. So they actually all did that when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. And he appeared in the midst of what would normally be a very inauspicious birth. To be born during an eclipse would normally be a very inauspicious arrangement. But the way Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born, with all of the devotees in Bengal screaming the names of the Lord, it was the most auspicious. And actually it was our great salvation. So what we're going to do is first I'll glorify the Gurus. We'll chant these prayers. We'll not put it up here, but if you just listen, chant along if you know them. And then after that, we're going to read a book called the Sri Prema Vivarta. It's by a devotee of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu named Jagadananda Pandit. I just happen to be reading this right now, and to save a little time in my day and do all the things I want to do, you're going to read it with me. And then we'll talk a little bit about it. So I didn't plan on having a class today, but I should. Om Jnana-Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Slapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Bhagadamayam Dudati Slapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamadam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sadhana Raghunatham Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Harijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhamitanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radhakanta Namaskute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanusute Devi Namami Haripriye Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubheva cha Patitam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadaya Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Good morning. Good morning.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're not interrupting us. You got to get through?
Yeah,
No
just
problem.
gonna get through, and then I'll be back a little bit later.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks for staying with us, and maybe
thank
I'll see you later.
Hope I didn't disturb
No,
anyone.
We love friendly people, so thanks for being friendly. Your name
Thank
again?
you, Harold.
Harold. Welcome, Harold. We're so happy. I'm
Thank you
Ronald,
so
the
much.
host.
Yeah,
So, I'm so happy to have you.
thank you very much.
All
Yeah.
right. We're going to start. We're having like a little class, but if you need to get through, no problem. If you want to sit in on the class, you're totally welcome, but we understand everyone is...
I appreciate it, but I'm on a schedule, so, but I'll be back a little later.
All right, we'll see you a little later then. Carry on.
Okay,
God bless. Thank you so much.
thank you.
Alrighty. So, Prema Vivarta. We'll read the Bengali. We'll go through each thing. If you want to repeat, why don't you try it? Maya ke pichani raki Krishna pane chaya. Maya ke pichani raki Krishna pane chaya. All right, don't repeat. Bhajite Krishna pada padma paya. Maya ke means to Maya. Pichane raki, leaving behind. Krishna pane, towards Krishna. Chaya, looks. Bhajite, while worshipping. Krishna pada padma, the lotus feet of Krishna. And paya, attains. So right now, just to get a little context. It's talking about, Jagadananda Pandit is talking about the living entity's relationship with Krishna. And ultimately, once he realizes the reality of Krishna and Maya, those two energies, he will very naturally not want to associate with Maya. So what's Maya? Mugdha, do you know what Maya is?
Sorry, Mugdha.
Did you hear what he said?
Maya is any kind of like expectations or greed of having.
These are all part of Maya, yes, but as Piyush said, these are illusions. Like we think something will bring us a certain thing, but actually it's an illusion, it'll give us something completely different. So almost all of this material world that we know of is under the jurisdiction of Maya, a great illusion. You know, like a young boy and a young girl, they meet each other, and they think that this thing they're about to get into will be some magical fairy tale thing like this, but it's something different, is it not? Is anyone else experienced this in their life? Even you get married and you think it's going to be some magical fairy tale, it's totally different, way different than what you thought. So everything like that is in the material world. So it's the temporary nature of this material world. We're really interested in having long-lasting happiness, a permanently happy situation. Doesn't that sound wonderful?
Yeah.
But for some silly reason, we search for long-lasting, permanent happiness in things that are impossible to get long-lasting, permanent happiness. And the things like the senses, and things that, entice the mind, and the intelligence, and the false ego. But these are all temporary arrangements in this material world. But when the devotee understands this, and only a very special type of person has some understanding of Maya. Like if you even know what Maya is, you're in a great shape to begin the enlightenment process. Most people don't even know what Maya is. They're just trying anything to be happy and they just keep failing over and over and over again. And they don't know why. Oh, why now? All they've ever done their whole life is suffer, and then they're surprised every time it keeps happening again. It's amazing, actually. We just do the same thing. Oh, I can't believe it. Again, I'm disappointed with life. But how can we get a different... What does the insane person, what does Albert Einstein say constitutes insanity?
Doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results.
Yes. So every time we engage with the senses and the material objects of the senses and the things of this world, some of the, pride and lust and greed and all these lower nature things, we expect, yes, I'll finally get happiness here. You've not seen her in a while, huh? She has my child is also with her. And it's more and more obvious. So he should be with us in a few weeks, actually. But anyway, this is the nature of Maya. So Jagadananda Pandit is talking about after realizing the truth about his own self, a living entity no longer wants material existence. He laments by saying, "Why did I worship Maya?" Because that's really what we do. Everyone's serving and worshiping something. Some people are, when you come here, we kind of force you guys to worship Krishna in some way. But everyone actually has a form of worship in something. Some people worship work. Like, whatever you say, boss, yes, yes, yes. Some people worship their professors. Whatever you say, professor. Some people worship their relationship. Whatever you say, honey. There's a saying in the material world in relationships in regard. How can a man have a happy life? Happy wife. Yes, worship the wife. Whatever you say, I'll do. This is my happiness. They're wrong. This doesn't mean happiness. She actually doesn't have the power to provide happiness. Only one person has the power to provide happiness. Who is that? Krishna. Krishna is God, right? Krishna. But unfortunately, we've done nothing but worship Maya. So we worship job, professor, work. We worship our senses. Oh, if I can only taste this today. Oh, if only I can feel this today with the senses, and so many things. Chasing sex life and eating life and all of intoxication, all of the things. But ultimately, it's never made us happy. It's never made anybody happy, nor will it ever. It's impossible. Nobody eats a large mountain of ice cream and they say, yes, I am just so satisfied. Nor can they even keep eating the ice cream. After you have 2 tubs of ice cream, you will vomit. I can do at least one, like a Turkey Hill, like a good sized tub. I can easily do 1 whole tub. But then after that tub, if I keep eating, eventually I'll get disgusted. So this is actually with the material world, the pleasure. Sex life might seem great, and you have 1 time, and you have 2 times, 3 times, and everyone's now very exhausted and so depleted. Their bodies are, really can't handle. But at some point you have to stop. And then actually the side effect that it has is very detrimental. So like this, we search for different material pleasures in the material world. Money being a very chief agent in how we do that. If only I had this amount of money, I'll be happy. If I had this amount of money, and this money can buy this thing. If I have this property, if I have this will make me happy. But it never makes anyone happy. So anyway, Jagadananda Pandit, he's saying like this, and the person who realizes says, why did I worship Maya? I live in a world, we were just singing Jeev Jago, about waking up from this world of Maya. I've been sleeping in the lap of Maya. Why should I sleep any longer? What are some of the lines? I'm trying to think, because they're when at birth actually, like where my son is right now, he's now upside down. Like the babies are head heavy, so as it gets time to come, the head just drops down in the fluid, and he's just like upside down. And actually it said in the Bhagavatam, at this time the living entity, if they're fortunate, can remember 100 past births that they have. It's such a torturous situation that they really dig very deeply in a meditative way. And it can try and remember 100 past births. And they had to figure out, how did I get in this situation? Everyone thinks, oh, birth is so cute, it's so wonderful. It is not, actually. He is swimming around in my wife's, all kinds of fluids are going through, pee and poop, and all things are in there. He's peeing and pooping in her body. I kid you not. This is like actually birth. And everyone thinks, oh, baby is so cute, everything birth. No one thinks birth is suffering. No, birth is total suffering. Have you ever been claustrophobic? Have you ever did anyone ever play dogpile when you were a kid?
When you jump on top of each other.
You all jump on top of each other. Kids do this. Did you ever get caught in the dogpile? I've never experienced any fear and hatred like this. Just getting completely sucked in. But imagine being in a womb. You cannot move. It's so tight. The baby, he'll stick his foot through her belly, and her belly will pop up. Why? He's so tight in there. He's so constrained. He's growing. It's a miserable condition, actually. And so at that time, the living entity, he wonders, what have I done to get here? And actually, they almost all realize God at that point. everyone in their immense suffering. We had promised Krishna. Who is here? Who's joined us? Meghna, very good. We're having a surprise class today. So this is the situation, and it realizes, why have I worshipped Maya? This is how I've gotten here. I've worshipped Maya lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, and now here I am again in this situation. So ultimately, when the living entity realizes, Jagadananda Pandit says, why did I worship Maya? He cries before Krishna and prays, "O Krishna, I am your servant. I have brought my own ruination by leaving your lotus feet." No one brought ruination to us. It's not that we're victims of the world. We're in a world of ruination. You're guaranteed to be ruined. Every endeavor that you do is guaranteed to be ruined if it's in Maya, if it's related to this material world. Why? Because it's temporary. That which is created is meant to be maintained and eventually destroyed. Nothing you can't keep anything here. So why? But we do over and over again, over and over. So ultimately, the only thing that is our salvation, what's the perfect solution we just sang about?
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, the Maha Mantra. The names of God. And as Jagadananda Pandit is saying here, Krishna's lotus feet. That's the only thing that is a guarantee. We always are connected and related to God. And at all times and all moments, we should try and remember that. So we chant the names of God to remember that. Hopefully it doesn't become some mechanical mumbling, because I know that happens in my life more than I'm happy to admit. It can become like a mechanical mumbling. But actually, we should understand, I'm calling out to you, maybe in this pathetic, pitiful condition, like the babies in the womb do. My son he's probably the most advanced in the room right now, because he's always in, a situation of just like really intense tribulation, and he's probably praying more than any of us right now. Maybe we'll all follow suit. It may not be possible for us to be extricated from this material world when we pass, and we may have to take another birth. And at that time, we will make even more advancement. But even right now, if you're awake, like we sang, why sleep any longer? If you can be awakened to this reality now, you should, right? Everyone just looks like very disappointed. Yes, it's nice to be awake. To be awake is nice. To not be in illusion and ignorance is nice. So anyway, I have brought about my own ruination by leaving your lotus feet. If one calls out the name of Krishna even once with humble solicitation, Krishna mercifully delivers him from the clutch of repeated birth and death. So even if once you sincerely call out to Krishna, he'll deliver you. But are we actually sincerely calling out to Krishna? Sincerely means, why have I left you? Why have I left your service? Why am I not being engaged in your service? That's what the meaning of the Maha Mantra Prabhupada gives us. But oftentimes when we chant Hare Krishna, what are we thinking? Oh, Krishna, fix this problem in my life. Make it go the way that I want it to go. Right?
Hare money.
Yeah. Amarendra Prabhu, he say, Hare Krishna, money, 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 money. He's not actually saying like that, but he's saying this is the actual, this is the conditioned souls, how we chant to Krishna. Please solve my problem. My loans are coming up. This is coming up. This problem, this, that, and the other thing. Money, 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 money. It happens, Even myself, we've got all these money issues here. Hare Krishna, Krishna. How am I going to pay this bill? Hare Krishna, all this thing. It happens. It's going to happen. And if you're fortunate and you don't have to worry about that, it's very good. You chant on nicely. But unfortunately, it is one of the problems in this world, is how to survive, how to maintain oneself. But anyhow, if we are fully in knowledge and always understanding that this birth and death and this interaction in Maya has never served us, nor will it ever serve us, and we've only been serving it and just being implicated in what? What does associating with Maya give us? What's the nice result? Misery, yes. Who loves misery? Mo, do you like misery? No, so naturally we would not want to associate with something that gives only misery. But yet that's all we want to associate with. That's all of our chief desires. Like, yes, give me that misery, you know. Because it's actually, it's the illusion. We think it's going to give happiness. But Maya means that which is not. You know, oh, I'm going to get happiness over here, and you get bit by a snake. Ow, oh my God. You know, something like this. So anyhow, let's see what Jagadananda Pandit says further. Sounds good. So he says in this verse we just read, Maya ke is to Maya, Pichane Raki, leaving behind, Krishna Pane, towards Krishna, Chaya looks, Bhajite Bhajite, while worshipping, Krishna Pada Padma, the lotus feet of Krishna, Paya attains. When one leaves Maya behind and turns his face to look upon Krishna, then by worshipping the Lord, such a person ultimately obtains Krishna's lotus feet. So when you stop looking onto these temporary material things, and look unto whose face? Turns your face to where? Then Bhajite Bhajite. By worshipping the Lord, such a person ultimately obtains Krishna's lotus feet. You'll have the real source of happiness. But is your endeavor actually sincere? Is your endeavor actually worship? Or is it like, please fix all my material problems and give me all the things of Maya that I want? Because in the beginning, when we're beginner level or neophyte devotees, that's what it is. It's like, Krishna, please fix this arrangement so I can have all the things of Maya that I want. But why would he do that if it only gives us suffering? So actually, when he does fulfill your desires, he gives it in such a way that you'll understand the illusory thing of it. I wanted so many things in my life. I wanted a wife. I have a wife. I like my wife. A very good wife. But I wanted a wife. I wanted, I'm sure the child. I wanted a child. Now Krishna is giving the child. I'm sure I will, it's something, I thought it was something that's not going to be. It's going to probably be much different than what I thought. Because they are servants of Krishna, there's also, there's definitely a chance of happiness in these things. But only to the extent that we're all engaged in service to Krishna. Otherwise, it's an illusion. It's something that we think it will be something, and it's not going to be that thing. So anyway, when I got a wife, I realized what all the duties that someone who has a wife is supposed to have. And I realized what a headache that is. And it's not my wife's fault. It's just my fault for thinking that married life was something different. And then I got I'm going to get a child. And the same thing, I probably think, oh, it'll be nice, the baby will always speak sweet words to me, things like that, and things like that. But probably when he's like 5, 6, or even 7, 8, 9, 10, and he starts being very mean to me or something like this, I'll think, oh my God, I thought this was something completely different. So many things like this. But anyway, I wanted a home. I wanted to have some money so that I can maintain everything. But actually, I'm learning more and more. Every insurance company, every this thing, that thing, the other thing, maintaining vehicles. What a headache. What a headache. What a headache all these things are. But I wanted all of them. And Krishna delivered all of them. But I thought it would be this thing. And, oh, this will make me happy. And this will make things better. And they can be useful, no doubt. But they give so much headache. Oh, how am I going to balance? Oh my, another bill? Oh my God, where is this coming from? The pipe bursted in this place? What is this? So like this. So ultimately, we should realize to turn our face to Krishna. If we're not turning our face to Krishna, and if we are turning our face to Krishna and praying for Maya, we're insane. We're literally like insane. Like, Krishna, please arrange Maya in such a way, like this. You're all exactly where you need to be, actually. Everyone. You're approaching Krishna. And actually, this period where we're approaching right now is called like Nishanta Bhajan. Like the first portion of the day is called the Nishanta pastimes of Krishna. That's why the devotees are recommended to wake up when? Do you know when it's? At least Brahma Muhurta. Maybe even earlier, but at least Brahma Muhurta. And what's Brahma Muhurta? It's the night is ending, but it's still there, and the day is coming. So when we associate with Maya, for so long, but we realize Maya's existence and we realize Maya's impact on us and how much suffering that she has caused us due to our desire to serve her for so long. We realize that the daybreak is coming. We're about to end. This misery is about to come to an end. Shri Shri Sachi Sitanitai ki, Ladu Gopal ki, Vrinda Devi Tulsimarani ki, Prahlad Nrsimha ki. So, we're realizing the day is coming to an end. The night is coming to an end. And the day is coming. So this happens when you start to worship Krishna. You realize your whole material illusion, your whole material suffering situation, it's coming to an end. But just like it takes a little time. If you ever get up early and you start your chanting, you start your practice, it takes some time. So in the span of eternity, which we've been doing this for eternity, now you started your spiritual life, it'll take some time before the night subsides and the day finally rises. So be patient, but at the same time, make sure that you are not trying to go back to sleep. You ever get up and, I don't really want to get up. You should get up, come on. Oh, I'm tired, I just want to go back to sleep. This is Maya. Maya is sending us back into ignorance, back into sleep. No, wake up, please wake up. We sing every morning, Jivas wake up, Jivas wake up. What do we say? Calls out, Lord Gauranga. So this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He wants us to wake up. We're sleeping in the lap of Maya. Maya's, she's Pishachira Kole. Pishachira. She's like a witch. Who wants to sleep in the lap of a witch? She's Krishna's witch, meant to be a witch to ruffle our feathers here in the material world until we finally realize, okay, this is not good. But you've realized at some point, to some level, this temporary arrangement can't make me happy. That this is a place of all kinds of sufferings. Even look, the birth of a child, we think, so happy, so wonderful. Yes, I will get some happiness and so will she, but the child is suffering immensely in there. He really is.
I will also suffer.
Yes, and she will suffer immensely. Yes, Meghna got very concerned. Yes, Meghna, birth is a suffering. They call it labor. Labor is...
We call it a labor of love.
Yeah, a labor of love, but labor is a very hard and intense, type of thing. But yes, why should we keep suffering? So, let's continue. Krishna tare dena nija chichakira bala maya akarshana chare haya durbala. Krishna means Krishna. Tare, to him, dena, awards, nija, his own, chichakira bala, the strength of spiritual energy. Maya, akarshana, attraction, chare, goes away, haya durbala, being weak. Sri Krishna awards such a person the strength of his own internal potency. Do you know the name of that energy? Internal potency. It's a type of Shakti.
Bhavini Shakti?
It's part of the internal potency. There's 3 elements of it, but let's just say all of it is what? What type of Shakti? I'll give you a hint. It rhymes with Shakti. Bhakti Shakti. Yes, he'll give you... he'll award such a person the strength of his own internal potency, and as a result, the attraction of Maya comes to an end, being distasteful in comparison. So when you actually achieve some semblance of bhakti, it says in Bhagavad Gita, when one achieves a higher taste, you won't be attracted for lower tasting things anymore. So if you still have a taste for material things, let's say you have, sexual attractions, let's say you have really deep attractions to all kinds of palatable foodstuffs, this, that, and the other thing, hello, we're probably all there. That actually means we haven't really achieved bhakti yet. We're practicing sadhana, we're doing sadhana. Sadhana means practice, but we haven't actually tasted the real thing yet. So in the beginning, we think we can get so accomplished so fast. And this happens with almost every beginning devotee. They go, they're cruising, and then they get arrogant and puffed up, and then they crash, and then there's a big crash, and then afterwards they realize just how beginner that they are. And so we should realize. But actually, when we actually taste bhakti, the things of Maya will not be attractive to us at all. At all. So, Let's actually try and taste bhakti. So that's why we're here. We're doing sadhana. We're doing practices. We have regulated practices. We do every day. So that actually, maybe we'll actually taste bhakti today. And then everyone has like their own little homework, right? You know, we say, okay, here we meet for school. This is school right now, right? And then everyone goes on in their homework, and their homework is their life. And then when you're in private, you know, you see, are you doing good on your homework, or are you maybe failing? You know, you see, everyone knows. I don't want to keep tabs on everyone all day. You know, you guys who live here, I kind of see what you're doing, but then you're off all day in the university. I'm wondering, how are they doing on their homework at university? Maybe good, maybe bad. I don't know. I don't care, actually. I care a little, but I can't care too much because I have my own homework to work on. You know, I have a certain amount of rounds, I have a certain amount of reading, I have my own spiritual practices, and I have my own bhakti to worry about. Am I actually in bhakti? Why is this thing in Maya still coming up? And it's layered, it's so deep, actually. But, like I said, we're at the Nishanta stage where day is guaranteed to come. We're aware of the time. We're waking up. You know, maybe we're a little groggy right now, but we're waking up. It's guaranteed to come. But are we committed to seeing it out, or do we want to go back to sleep? Many of us, we want to go back to sleep. Oh, I'll just sleep a little longer. 1, 2, 3 lifetimes more, no problem. Sleep a little longer. In the span of eternity, it's nothing. It's just like a quick snap of the finger. Oh, I dozed off. 3 lifetimes. What's to speak of 10 or 100? But now you have an opportunity. You're waking up. You're gaining consciousness. You're understanding Maya. You're understanding Krishna. You're understanding the illusion that this world can give you happiness. So take the opportunity. Take the opportunity to worship Krishna, to serve Krishna, to call out his names, and to be more sincere. To make a commitment. I'm not praying to Krishna for Maya. That's like contradictory. I'm going to pray to Krishna so he puts me in Maya. You know, like, it makes no sense. You know, why am I going to, get up and do a bunch of activities just to go back to sleep? And like, oh man, I got to get back to sleep, and let me do all these activities just so I can get back to sleep. No, just get up, do activities, you know. So anyhow, so Krishna will award the person the strength of his own internal potency, which will be bhakti. You will be awarded that strength through bhakti. You'll be awarded bhakti. You all have the seed of bhakti. You wouldn't come to a bhakti yoga ashram or have any desire to associate and do any of these activities if you didn't have at least some portion of bhakti. It's all given to you already. The waking up is happened. Maybe some of you realize that bhakti will help you overcome your sufferings. Maybe some of you realize that, wow, bhakti is giving me a lot of pleasure. I want to keep doing bhakti. For whatever reason, you're all coming to bhakti, but the desire for bhakti is there. There's some faith in this process. So now you have to water it and nourish it and grow it and take out the weeds. And don't let anything come and strangle it out, like a garden, like a creeper. You have this strong spiritual plant that you're now nourishing and growing. So grow it and cultivate it, and don't let nonsense get in the way. Don't let Maya get in the way. And she becomes distasteful in comparison. So that's when you know. When you're having distaste for things of Maya, then you'll know, oh, maybe I'm actually making some advancement. But if you still have some desire to associate with the material modes of nature, and let's say lust, greed, all these things are still present for material things, we haven't had any real sufficient taste of bhakti yet. Because once that happens, it'll feel so good. Then these things, I can't. That's nasty. Even a few years ago, sometimes you ever look on your Facebook, and it's 10 years ago you said this or something like that. Me and my wife, it happens to us. We get a notification that, I posted this thing 10 years ago or 5 years ago. And a lot of times you look at it and you're just cringing. Oh, God, what a fool I was 10 years ago. I can't believe this is how I'm putting myself out to the world. Yes, am I the only one who did like that? Right? So this is what happens when you make advancement in bhakti. You're like, oh, God, I can't believe I was so immersed in this thing.
Just happened to me the other day, too.
It will keep happening.
I had the rewind of
Oh, God. Yes. So this is actually, when one is making advancement in bhakti, you'll see, oh my God, what nonsense I was. Or like when you meet like an old friend or a relative and they bring something up from the past, you're like, oh, I did that. You know, like when I was a little kid, I don't know why I did it. I was not like a little kid. I was in like 6th grade. Something happened that a basketball went over the fence and it like went on the side, and somehow the basketball's on the other side of the fence and my friend went all the way around to like go and get it. But I thought it would be a funny prank if I were to urinate on the basketball. Yes, this is the type of consciousness that I had. And I did this thing. And I remember him just like, you know, somehow his parents found out and everyone. I was just like so embarrassed. Even at the time I was so embarrassed. But like this is the type of consciousness that I had. Like musty to a really stupid and high level. We always joke, musty is like teasing, you know. Ben, if you don't, musty is teasing, like play, and we always are teasing each other in the ashram. But we had like a serious talk yesterday. There has to be really good intentions behind our teasing, or we could be doing something else. So anyway, yes. So we're always doing so many stupid things, but as we make advancement, we'll realize, oh my gosh, it becomes distasteful. And I look back at that and I'm like, oh I really hope my kids don't do stupid things like that. You know, like, but they might because they came from me, you know? So unfortunately, but anyway, Maya will become distasteful. Sadhu Sange Krishna Nama E Matra Chai Samsara Jinite Ara Kona Vastu Nai. Sadhu Sange, in the association of devotees, Krishna Nam, the holy name of Krishna, E Matra, only, Chai, require, Samsara, the material existence, Jinite, to conquer, Arakona, any other, Vastu Nai, no support. The only thing required, this is nice, you want to know the secret? The only thing that is required? No, it'll tell you. You're onto something. You might have heard me say Sadhu Sangha. But anyway, the only thing required is the chanting of the holy name of Krishna in the association of saintly persons. Why? Because when we take it ourselves, because we're still in Maya, we try to impose our Maya over the name and we make offenses to the name and we don't get the pure thing. So you have to do it in the association of devotees, because the devotees will lift each other up, enliven each other. There's a verse, 10:9 of Bhagavad Gita. Machchitta madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam kathayantas chamam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. And that means with their consciousness in me and with their lives fully devoted to me, my devotees, they are always enlightening one another amongst each other. Why? So when you associate with devotees, you know, people's good spiritual qualities come out and they start enlivening and enlightening each other. So when you do that, it's always so positive. And then he says after that, they're always incessantly, kathayantas chamam nityam, they're incessantly speaking of me. And this actually gives them tushyanticha, great satisfaction, and ramanticha, great pleasure. And you'll see it actually. I don't get up here for no reason. You know, I'm not like, what a laborious chore. Our friends came today. I have to talk about Krishna. I get enlivened. Like, oh my gosh, I get to say something else about Krishna. I get to share this thing about Krishna. This actually gives pleasure when some bhakti gets attained. It gives a lot of pleasure. So this is what the devotees do. So you need other people to do that. Kirtan is impossible without others. Sankirtan is definitely impossible without others. San means group. So if you don't get in a group, it's impossible to make any real advancement, at least in Chaitanya's Kali Yuga arrangement for us. It's not to go into the Himalayas and meditate and you'll figure it out there. It's you get amongst the devotees and you glorify the Lord. So we're all doing. That's what we're doing today when we all sing the Lord's prayers and things like that in the morning. But we have to remember this thing. So the only thing required is chanting the holy name of Krishna in the association of saintly persons. There is no other way to conquer material existence than this. So you have to find saintly persons And then you should be around them as much as possible and take to the process, which is the chanting of the holy name. Take Krishna's name. But if you don't find saintly persons, it will be useless. Actually, here, if you were just only going to rely on me, I would let you down. I've probably let a few of you down before. I probably am regularly letting you guys down. But the good news is here, because some advancement in bhakti has been made here, and myself, my wife, and you guys, that saintly persons do want to come here. And we will have saintly persons coming through here. So take advantage of these times. Very much take advantage of these times. And then also, this should be the top priority. It's the only thing required to get out of Maya, which means misery, and to get Krishna, which means eternal happiness. So the only thing is required is gather with saintly persons and call on the names of Krishna. So you're actually all doing it. You're all in the process to a degree or another. It was winter, so it was slow, so not many saintly persons want to come to Syracuse in the winter. They have much better arrangements to go. But now it's going to be nice here, and just this month alone, even next week, we'll have Narasimha Prabhu is coming. He's a friend. I wouldn't say like, yes, now we have like a guru or anything. No, he's an experienced practitioner of bhakti. His father is a sannyasi and a guru in the Gaudiya Math. So he'll be here next Sunday. And then we have a whole lineup. Our Guru Maharaj is coming. Our Guru Maharaj is coming, I think, sometime the 24th, 25th, something in that area of April. We'll have Devaki Devi Dasi is coming. All saintly individuals who can, help us, and it'll be very beneficial to associate with them and chant around them and practice bhakti around them. So anyhow, Sakala Barasa Chari Gora Pareyasha Kariya Basiyache Jagai Gorada Dasa. Sakala, all, Barasa, dependence, Chari, giving up, Gora Pade, unto the lotus feet of Gora. Asha, hope, Kariya, keeping, Basya Ache, sitting peacefully, Jagai, Jagadananda, Gorara Dasa, a servant of Gora. So this verse is, Sri Gauranga's servant, Jagadananda, is sitting peacefully by putting all his faith and hope at the lotus feet of Gora, while giving up all other hope and dependence. So he sees Krishna, and as we should also try and see, wholly and solely in Lord Chaitanya. He's a pure devotee of Lord Chaitanya. And actually for us in Kali Yuga, we should not try and bypass Lord Chaitanya. Well, let me read Bhagavad Gita, or let me read Bhagavatam. Actually, we read those things, but we should always understand in context of Lord Chaitanya, because this is how Krishna is showing up in Kali Yuga. This is how it's said in Bhagavatam Krishna would show up as a sannyasi, spreading the Sankirtan movement. So we have to study the life of Lord Chaitanya. So that's why we recommend read teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Mukta, you have teachings of Lord Chaitanya?
Sorry?
You have the book Teachings of Lord Chaitanya? It might be a good book to look at. It's a very nice book, and you can get a lot of the confidential instructions and understandings of what we have to do. So let Lord Chaitanya be your guidepost. If you don't know about Lord Chaitanya, read about his life. That's why Prabhupada, not just Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, not just Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, they all wrote their own separate versions of teachings of Lord Chaitanya. It's very important. Many people know about Krishna. There are many Vaishnavas, Krishna worshippers in India. Very few actually recognize Krishna's Kali Yuga incarnation, predicted in the Bhagavatam. Very few. And if somehow you've come across Lord Chaitanya or this movement, it's your duty to understand what does Krishna want from me in this time, place, and circumstance. Because it looks very different. If you just study Bhagavad Gita and you don't see how Lord Chaitanya practically applied it, you'll have a misconception of what it is, and you'll go off on a different path. So Jagadananda Pandit, he recognized this, and he was wholly and solely devoted to Lord Chaitanya. They actually had a lot of really cute exchanges. He was very... he would show anger to the Lord. He had like a childhood relationship with Lord Chaitanya when he came. But he always recognized him as the Lord, But he would get very angry at the Lord for trying to be a sannyasi, for trying to be renounced, when all Jagadananda Pandit wanted to do was give him like pleasure, like sensual pleasure and things like that. Not like in that weird like sexual way or anything, but in like wanted to make sure he was eating nicely, he was always comfortable, he had all the gorgeous arrangements and things like that. But Lord Chaitanya, because he was a sannyasi, he would reject all these things. And Jagadananda Pandit would always get so angry and then upset, and he would start fasting and pouting. And so anyway, these are actually exchanges of love. Actually, I don't know, the closest thing in this material world would be like romance between, not necessarily husband and wife, but boy and girl. You know, there's always the ups and downs, and you know, she's pouting, but somehow it actually can stimulate the man to try harder and try different things and all these things like this. But ultimately, on a spiritual level, these things are much more sweet. So this is their relationship. So this section, we're going to start a new chapter, and then we'll just read 3 more verses. This section is called, the English is, The Holy Name is for Everyone. So chapter 7 of the Prema Vivarta starts like this, which means Sakalera Pakshe Nama. And also another section, one cannot chant the name in the association of non-devotees. So who do you need to associate with?
Devotees.
Yes. What's the other type of Sangha?
Asa.
Asat Sangha, yes. Another word you call is Jana Sangha, or worldly Sangha. Most of our Sangha, unless you're associating with us exclusively, which I can say most people in our congregation are not associating with us exclusively. Maybe you guys living here, but most of our Sangha would have to then be what? No, it would be Jana Sangha, or worldly association. The goal is that we're associating primarily with devotees, because this is how we can make advancement, you know, because we're like a crystal. When a crystal is shining in the sun, and the shining and the brilliance of Sadhu Sangha and the association of Krishna and worship of Krishna, the crystal is magnifying that energy, and it's so beautiful and wonderful. But if you put a crystal in a dark room, what is the crystal? It's like another rock, you know. If you had like I don't know, if you were in a dark room and the room was filled with a bunch of stones, but you know, maybe you also put like a $1 trillion giant ruby in there, but as you're going through the dark room, wandering around, you just feel like, oh, I just kicked another stone. It's just an ordinary stone. Why? Because it's associated in the wrong place. It's really only as useful as a stone in that spot. But when the crystal is shining in the sun, it's magnifying this incredible radiance and brilliance. That's the power of Sadhu Sangha. That's the power of associating with Krishna. But when we go and put ourselves in Jana Sangha, and we might have to some degree, we might have to survive. You know, everyone's got to go to work, everyone's got to maintain themselves. I got to go to the mechanic today at some point. It's not like, oh, I like Randy. I try to talk to him about God. I try and give him books and all these things. But at the same time, me and Randy, we can't like be having deep hangouts because, you know, it would be a dark room for me. I wouldn't really be able to, you know, really shine how I need to shine. So we have to be around the devotees. So this is going to be the theme here. Asadhu Sange by Krishna Nama Nahihaya Namakshara Bahiraya Bhate Tabu Nama Kabunaya. Asadhu Sange, in the association of non-devotees, by, O brothers, Krishna Nam, the holy name of Krishna, Nahihai, cannot be chanted. Namakshara, the alphabets of the holy name, Bahiraya, come out, Bhate, true, Tabu, still, Nama, the holy name, Kabunaya, never. So this is going to be a really interesting thing here. Remember, what is the 9th offense of the holy name?
It's to say the glories of the Lord with somebody who's not a devotee.
Yes, to share the glories of the holy name. What's that? To a faithless person, yes. So that would be like a non-devotional or a non-devotee person. So actually the holy name won't reveal itself. It's not just like we're uttering syllables. So this verse we'll get into it. Oh brothers, the holy name of Krishna cannot be chanted in the association of non-devotees. Even if the alphabets of the holy names are uttered by the mouth, that is actually not the holy name. So even though we can say the syllables Krishna, Hare, if we're in the wrong environment, the holy name doesn't want to come and reveal itself, we're not going to get that. We're going to get a semblance of the holy name. So you can't just go, oh, I'll just be at work and I'll chant Krishna there and I'll get the ultimate result. In your heart, internally, and you can chant, it's good. You can still maintain your own inspiration. But ultimately that inspiration is to get back with the devotees and chant again in the association of the devotees. And that's ultimately, and not just, us here. Because you have to look at this on a higher scale. There are really, really wonderful, pure devotees. And if you get to chant with, when we were in India, that's what we did. We were chasing sadhus this time around. We didn't prioritize going to different temples. We didn't prioritize that at all, or different pastime places. We went to those things, but we wanted to go to where all the saintly people were. And we found our time would be spent much more valuably if we went to where a sadhu was speaking and we could hear from the sadhu and kirtan and so on. We could chant with the devotees. And that was a much better experience than we've ever had actually doing it like that. So this should actually be our focus. Where are the devotees? And let's just say, we're in Syracuse. There's not many devotees, even in the USA, what's to speak of in Syracuse. So this is kind of the best spot we got, unfortunately. I wish it was better, but this is the best spot we have. This is the only place where people want to appreciate Krishna at all and chant anything, and that any saintly person has any chance of coming in this town. There's always a chance a saint can come somewhere, but it's unlikely saintly people will be attracted to go where people don't have faith in Krishna or know of these things. So anyhow, Kabu nama basahaya sadanama paradha esa bhajani bebai Krishna bhaktira badha. Kabu, sometimes, nama bas, reflection of the holy name. Haya, it is. Sada, always. Nama aparad, offenses against the holy name. Esava, all these. Jani be, know for sure. Bhai, O brothers. Krishna bhaktira badha, the obstacle in the path of devotional service to Krishna. O brothers, that kind of chanting, meaning chanting around non-devotees, is seldom the reflection of the holy name. Meaning it's not even, but almost always it is an offense against the holy name. Know for sure that all these are impediments on the path of devotional service to Krishna. So there's 3 levels of the chanting of the holy name. There's namaparad. That's why we chant them every morning. These are the 10 offenses. Do not do this. So this is, and this is the way Krishna's prem, love, bhakti can never really arise, chanting with namaparad. But he's saying if we do any chanting with the non-devotees, he's saying very seldomly, very rarely will it be even the next stage, namabas, which means not the pure name of Krishna, but also not offensive chanting. And it's said to be like a reflection of the name. So even very seldomly will you actually get namabas out in the association of non-devotees. And he says almost always it is an offense against the holy name. Now I'm like a little scared to go to my uncle's funeral with all my relatives now. Because I have to do my chanting and things, but I already know I'm going to be sharing a hotel with my parents and 2 brothers. And oh man, it's going to be a disaster of a morning for me to try and do sadhana. I'm already seeing. I'm imagining it. So anyway, know for sure that these are all impediments on the path of devotional service to Krishna. They're always going to be caused by the non-devotees. We have to minimize our non-devotee exposure and maximize our devotee exposure. This is the process. So this is Jagadananda Pandit's teachings today. And then the last one, Nama Bhajan Pranali, or the process for chanting the holy name. Yadi Karibe Krishna Nama Sadhu Sangha Kara Bhukti Mukti Siddhivancha Dure Pariha Hara. Yadi, if Karibe Krishna Nam, chant the holy name of Krishna. Sadhu Sangha Kara, associate with devotees. Bhukti, material enjoyment. Mukti, liberation. Siddhi, mystic perfection. Vancha, desire. Dure Parihara, throw away. If you want to chant the holy name of Krishna, then simply associate with the devotees of the Lord. You should abandon all desires, such as the desire for material enjoyment, liberation, and mystic perfection. So liberation even means freedom from your suffering. All types of material enjoyment and all types of mystic perfection. Now I'm a great meditator. I'm a psychic now. I'm clairvoyant. I'm clairaudio. All these things that yogis and meditators and pseudo-spiritualists, we chase these things in the beginning. But all these things, abandon all of them and only try and associate with devotees. That's all you have to do. And then you can actually chant the holy name. And Krishna he'll come right to you. You'll be infused with the topmost energy in existence. And I've practically seen this in my life. I've had a few junctures in my life where I had to choose between the job, the money, or my devotion to Krishna, and Krishna forced me to choose. And by good fortune, I was able to choose devotion to Krishna is more important than this thing. And when I did that, all those things got figured out. Those so-called problems. It seemed like I was putting myself in a more materially, even more predicament, an even deeper predicament, material problem. Oh no, I'm going to neglect my time I'm supposed to be spending on this, that, and the other to serve Krishna. I don't have time for that. But ultimately, when you make that choice, Krishna takes care of everything. I can't even tell you, I'm shocked how Krishna has taken care of things in my life. I have not worked a regular job in many years, but still somehow everything is there. It's increased. But still, the bills get paid, everything is there. Even now recently, we started the book distribution effort. I'm just shocked how, successful it's going, actually. How, when you follow a certain system and you just, present them a certain way, how people are actually receptive to want to take the books.
It was good.
It wasn't great, but it was cold, and it'll be better when the weather is nice. But it still works. Yeah, still some, people take books, they're leaving donations, they're generous enough. Krishna always gives enough. So you'll never have a problem, actually. So what's today's lesson? Please, someone tell me. What is the only thing that we really have to
At
do?
right place and right time with right people.
Yes. But what's the most important thing? Sadhu Sangha. Yes, the association.
Yeah, it comes with people.
Yes.
Yeah.
But not even Harinam before that. That and then do Harinam. So in association of the devotees, chant Harinam.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to be able to do it around non-devotees. You'll only be able to make offenses there.
I have realized this.
Yes. How about you, Parth? Have you realized this? Yes.
The same song.
So.
I was having a drive with a devotee in a way, but I was playing a song. The energy in the car was different when I was playing the same song with non-devotees. So
Yes.
it is very, very obvious. The essence of the feel of the song was lost.
Yes. Seldomly you'll get a chance at Namabas, meaning you'll be able to say Krishna's name in a non-offensive way, but it won't be the pure Krishna's name, because they're not ready for that. They're not attracted to that. And Krishna, he comes where people are attracted to him.
Yeah.
Just like everyone. We go to places where we feel the most loved. Is it not? Where do people go? They go to the place where they feel the most affection. So Krishna himself will only come to the place where he's going to feel the most affection. So where do you think that is? In Syracuse, probably here, where people are calling to him, hopefully with some affection, in the mornings and like this. So this is our process. Yes, you have a doubt, question?
No.
Okay. All right, is there any doubts or questions? Well, we always do this. I'm thinking, yes, we'll just do something short today and we go longer than the actual Bhagavatam class. Any doubts or questions?
So in the 5 most important limbs of bhakti, Sadhu Sangha is there, of course, and you're saying that before even Harinam...
I'm saying, or Jagadananda Pandit is saying?
Well, yes. I'm just trying to understand. So it's saying, he's saying that Sadhu Sangha is before Harinam, but I've also heard like Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has taken the 64 limbs of bhakti and put them into 5, and then taken the 5 and put them into 1, which is the holy name, or chanting Harinam. But
Yes, but Harinam Sankirtan, which is that number 1 important limb, what does that imply?
it's in a group.
Yes,
Congregational.
yes, it's congregational, so it would apply in the association of devotees.
But also, like to find like say a guru or something, it's very important to chant japa and want to. And so like you have to chant to get association also, right?
Yes. How do you even get association in the first place? If all you can do is chant offensively, there's something that's called like bhakti sukriti, where even if something incidental, this actually happened with Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj in the past was a great debauchee actually. He was married, he had a family, and he saw a prostitute and he was very attracted to the prostitute. So he actually left his family and started associating with the prostitute, and then eventually he gave more and more to her. This happened with Ajamil too in the Bhagavatam. And he gave more and more to the prostitute, and then eventually he threw his wife away, threw everything behind his dharma, and he just associated with her. And then at one point, when he had given everything to her, because he was thinking happy, not wife, but happy prostitute, happy life. And when he had given everything to her, in his worship of her practically, she then was no longer attracted to it, because now he was penniless. He didn't have all the things. So what ended up happening is that he went, they had a fight, and he went and he went to the forest. And in the forest, there was an old abandoned temple. And he went to this temple, and he just sat there and cried and was so disturbed all night, and he was up. And similarly, the prostitute actually had some affection for him. And the prostitute, she didn't like that the fight happened. So she also went out to the forest looking, and somehow or other she also ended up at that old abandoned temple. But I guess it was big enough where they never crossed paths. But anyhow, what ended up happening is he fasted and stayed awake through the night because of his arrangement. But because it was a very special day, him fasting and staying awake through the night actually had given him a lot of pious benefit. And so he got to take birth in the next life as Prahlad Maharaj, even though in the family of a demon, Hiranyakashipu. But what did he get? How did Prahlad Maharaj become such a great soul? What was his gift, even in the womb?
He heard Bhagavatam from Narada Muni.
Association with Narada Muni. He heard Bhagavatam from Narada Muni, and that we worship him because he became so great by that association. And then he had 60,000 years of hearing Bhagavatam from Narada Muni. That's nice. For 60,000 years hearing from Narada Muni. So he became very, very realized. And actually, the prostitute ended up becoming his wife. The day that they fasted and stayed overnight, do you know what it was?
Ekadashi, some Ekadashi with Almond.
Any other guesses? It was Nrsimha Chaturdasi, which even in this material universe, Nrsimha Chaturdasi didn't come until Prahlad's life, but actually in the past existence, Nrsimha also comes. But it was a day in worship, and it was an old Nrsimha temple. But this is how Prahlad Maharaj got to take birth as Prahlad Maharaj. Now, what an exalted soul! So if we aren't chasing prostitutes and we just take bhakti very sincerely, we can only imagine our type of birth next. But are we doing like that? But you're saying, well, how do you get association? There are things that you can do that can stimulate bhakti. If you chant with sincerity, if you approach Shastra with sincerity, if you do service to a sadhu or one of Krishna's devotees, this is building your sukriti. I'm seeing it in my life. Now I'm in the beginning of my Krishna consciousness. I had access to certain devotees, and I had relationships, and it's nice. It was by good fortune I met them, And my Guru Maharaj was one of those personalities. I'm so fortunate that I met my Guru Maharaj, and he like really picked me up out of nowhere, from nothing, and really helped raise and cultivate, got us married, did so much for us. But then as I keep going in my bhakti process in life, not only do I have my Guru Maharaj's association, but I'm meeting more and more saintly people and gaining these relationships. And these are actually the most valuable things that I actually have in my life. It's not any money, it's not any house, it's not any preaching program. This actually, the value that I'm getting is relationships with saintly people. And this is actually what's allowing me to get more advancement. So you may say, well, how do you find a guru? How do you get the sadhu sangha? In the beginning, it's building sukriti, but by further building that sukriti and serving, rendering service, or even, the process of pranipatina, being humble, and pariprashnina, asking them questions so you can make advancement. And then sevaya, doing the service. Then you make more and more advancement. Then Krishna will give you other teachers who also can bring you deeper and deeper and deeper. Now I have, it's nice because we have I'm looking at the schedule right here on this laptop. People on the laptop, you can't see it. If I shared the screen, I guess you could. But it's all the different saintly people. Because of our good fortune, we got to meet them. And now they're coming here. And now you guys will all get to meet them. So this is kind of the...
Also grace, no problem. It's
Yeah, it's completely grace. But that's what Sukriti is. Sukriti means you put yourself in a position to receive grace.
If I think I will do and get people, then that will be ego.
You should make an endeavor, correct?
Well, it's a cross between both of what you're saying. You're not the doer of anything. It's all Krishna's grace. But at the same time, how does Krishna get bound by Mother Yashoda? The process, the two things, they have to meet. Bhajan and mercy. So bhajan means effort. You have to put some effort into this. If you don't put any effort and you expect it's all grace, I'll just sit here. This is laziness instead. Instead, we have to be very, very concerted in our effort. Okay? I am a nobody. I have nothing. I have no bhakti. But like the story of... did you ever hear the story of the sparrow who lost her eggs in the ocean? So there's a sparrow, and the ocean is, you say, a personality. And the sparrow left her eggs on the shore, but then the ocean crept up and took the eggs. And the sparrow was very upset. So the sparrow was going... she went to the ocean, and she was trying to... and pleading, please give me my babies back. And so the sparrow, the ocean is thinking, the personality of the ocean is like, who are you? You're a sparrow. I'm not entitled to give you anything. But that sparrow was like, fine, if you don't give me my ocean back, I will drink the entire ocean up, and you'll have nothing left. So the ocean's like, oh, I'm real scared. You're a sparrow. What are you doing? So the sparrow's drinking as much as she can. But what is a sparrow going to do in the ocean? So he's like a baby making a little effort. What is this nonsense? But at the same time, a great devotee of Vishnu, he saw the sparrow, Garuda. Garuda saw the sparrow and was like having compassion. Oh, this ocean took his egg, and look how hard he's trying. I'll come and help him. So then Garuda just starts taking giant volumes of water and swallowing, and the ocean is drying and drying and drying. It's like, wait, I'll give the eggs back, here they are. And he presents the eggs and all kinds of other treasures and things. So like that, if we don't make the effort, then how will the Lord, even know what we're trying to accomplish?
You were telling me last time, Prabhu, it's like your efforts, and then there was some verse in Bhagavad Gita where you were saying it is definitely your efforts, but whatever you cannot do, I compensate for.
Yes, he covers what you lack.
Yeah,
this verse we did in the last Sunday class.
Yes.
Yeah, Krishna will cover. He will carry what you don't have, but you have to make the effort.
Yes.
You should have intense effort, enthusiastic effort. Every second, you should not even waste a second. Oh, Krishna will do it.
Yes.
No, not 1 second. If you have a free second, practice bhakti. If you have 1 free second, do it. Otherwise, we'll waste the time, we'll waste the life. And then Krishna will see, oh, not so eager. He doesn't really want me to come and associate. do you ever like get reluctantly invited somewhere? You know, like, all right, you can come too. You're not so like eager. All right, you know, like if they want you there, like please come, please. Like, you're like, all right, I'm definitely coming. You know, like of course I'll come, no problem. Like, you know, because if someone's affection, so if you know we're trying to associate with Krishna and call Krishna, but we're not really interested so much. I'll give you a little bit, Krishna. Like no problem. Like, but I want that material desire, you know. How, like, you know, how much will Krishna really want to come and associate? Like, oh, he's kind of just using me, you know, like, right? Like, do you ever want to go somewhere where there's not much affection? He just wants to use me. All he wants is this from me or that from me, you know. You don't want that. You don't want that type of relationship. What do you want? You want something like there's actual affection, there's actual love there. That's what Krishna wants. So you have to be concerted in your offerings of love. With your heart, with your words, with your body. I offer this unto you. Everything. You should try and offer to Krishna. And then he'll, you know, not just like, all right, I did the morning program, Krishna. I did it for a week straight. Where is my job? You know, I want this, you know, like not like that, right? So anyway, we're getting very late now. But, yeah, you guys just keep going. And again, because most people can only, I learned this in India at a lecture, most people can only take in 1 point from a whole lecture. What was the 1 point of today?
Sadhu Sangha.
Yes, Sadhu Sangha. Then all the other things come. Prabhupada was asked by, what is his name? Brahma Muhurta Prabhu? When he was Bhakta Brian, he was interviewing him in Mayapur, and he said, what was the number one things for spiritual advancement? And you were quoting from our Acharya, so I'll quote from Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada said 2 things. And I've told you all this story before. Sadhu Sangha, and then, okay. And the second, Sadhu Sangha. Meaning this is the only important thing. Because in Sadhu Sangha, you'll chant the holy names, you'll hear Bhagavatam, you'll do deity worship, and where's the Sadhu Sangha? It's often in the Dham. All the other main 5 processes will be done in Sadhu Sangha. Without Sadhu Sangha, nothing can be done. Not even a semblance of the holy name can be done without Sadhu Sangha. So by good fortune, you gain Sadhu Sangha. Somehow it has come to all of you that you've met devotees. And if you keep associating, you'll meet more devotees. And if I keep associating, I'll meet more devotees. And we'll just keep going on and on like this. But if we don't associate with devotees, then
We're not going to make advancement.
yes, we won't. It'll be very stagnant, and maybe that's it for this life. And then we'll deal with our whatever taste we're getting now for our bhakti, which we're really honest with ourselves, it's probably not that great. Then we'll just be stuck there until we make more advancement in our sadhu sangha quest. So what's the one thing we have to do?
Associate with devotees.
Yes, we should all associate with each other. We should all come together and practice bhakti together. That's why we have the programs every day. It's what we're doing. I don't have to do this in the morning, at all. I want to do it. It's like, it gives me actual pleasure to do this. No one pays me for this. But lo and behold, enough comes. I'm not saying. But this is, this isn't like, all right, come here, Hari Katha, $5 at the door, something like that, or even leave a donation. It's not like, no, please, just come. Prasad, please, just come, like that, and even books, as long as they cover our printing, it's good, actually. As long as they're just enough, that we're not like, all right, we're already poor and we're losing all of our money to give you books. As long as they cover our printing and they get books, that's all we want. And hopefully they read the books and they want to come and associate. That's the number one thing. So anyhow, you know what to do now. Hare Krishna.
Hey.
I did not plan this. I just read where I was reading. I didn't even know what I was reading today. I didn't even know I was reading to anyone. When Ben and Mugdha came, I was like, I shouldn't cancel the Bhagavatam class. So anyway, Hare Krishna, thank you so much, and enjoy Prasad. Mugdha, thank you for
Will
coming.
you take after the eclipse? Like what
My
time?
place.
What's that?
After the eclipse, how many long will we do it?
I can't hear you.
After eclipse, how much longer we have to wait?
To eat, he's saying, can we eat now or not?
Oh, eating. Listen, I mean, eat prasad, it's good, but there is a time period that it's best to wait like 6 hours